Hey everyone, it's Ben.
And Karen.
Hooray, go us. Go NordVPN. I'm going to read the spiel this stream because,
Yeah,
so forth.
it's a little bright. But I'll adjust.
Mine is the best. Not only do we not have any viewers, it doesn't even say we don't have any viewers. Usually it says something. Karen left. Oh, I'm going to leave too if Karen left. All right, this is the best stream ever. Go stream. You went from 2 people to 0. Teach you guys not to donate. Now it shows 200 viewers after the fact. It's Spencer.
I can't wait till we get the new wall color.
Yeah, this one's good.
It's tough with this dark color.
Got 2 drinks, one for each
Glossy
of you.
panel.
I need cigarettes so I can be in coffee and cigarettes too.
How's everybody doing? Hey, some dumb trucker.
His spelling is pretty dumb.
Hey,
Also,
Spence and Zug.
Grammar's not too good either. Yes, I'm playing Blitz. That's why the name of this stream is Ben Gives Karen a Chess Lesson, French in London. You got me. You tricked me.
Well, there might be some, at the end. I can't go too long. I get tired.
Eh. Does GM mean grandma? No, it means grandmama. Remember Larry Johnson? Also, was that his name? Larry
No.
Johnson?
Hey, Joseph. How's it going?
Who
in
was
the
grandma?
UK?
Who was grandmama? Was that Larry Johnson? It's 30 years ago, so I can't remember.
Laszlo Damas, how's it going? We need to have you over for like a chess party.
Boo. I mean, yeah. Larry Johnson? Yes. Do you believe in miracles? Yes. No, just for you, some dumb trucker. As the stream froze.
Finegold merch. Exclam merch.
He's got like 50, bouts of ROM and he's got, 1 upload and 0 download. Something like that. Yeah. Some joke like that.
I'm not a wordler.
We're intelligent adults. We're not small children.
No, I don't even know what it is. I've seen everybody posting the results.
It sounds like your internet is bad, although he can't hear me, so it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, what is that word? Is it Wordle?
Yeah.
Wordler? Yeah, what is it?
It's like a game for
seen-
children.
No, but
it's
what-
like Minecraft.
No.
Yeah. It's Minecraft with words. Well, I have no idea what it is, but when I see people posting nonsense, it reminds me of Mastermind. If you remember that. Do you remember Mastermind?
I have that game here.
Yeah. I have no idea how to play. I don't know anything about it except when people post weird colors. But it looks like Mastermind.
I used to play that with my kids.
Yeah. I don't know what Jumble is. Right. Yeah, I mean, Wordle is for people that don't, like, we do stuff. We can't, we don't waste our time with nonsense. That's what you guys do. We're doers and you guys are watchers.
I am a doer, but I do like some nonsense too.
Yeah, but it's 100% nonsense. Yeah. And so forth.
He chose the French in London because that's what I play.
We're adults. I can't try Wordle. We have lives. That's just for people that got nothing going on.
Well, I used to play Words with Friends, which is
What
Scrabble.
was that word you use? Used to? Oh, snap. Yeah.
Well, I've got other things I enjoy more.
That's correct. Like anything else. I played Words with Friends before you were born. For like a month.
Yeah, it seems like people
week.
cheated. I don't know.
No.
I felt like sometimes that people, because I have a really good vocabulary, and I would just be thinking, how is this person?
I have a well
beating
vocabulary
me?
because it's not good. I got popcorn in my teeth. You know what that means? Tooth hurts. It'll come out during the stream and I'll be like, yay, etc.
Teach Karen the English. Aw, thank you, some dumb trucker. I don't know about the French, but it's what I know right now. I've got a tournament in a little bit over a week, a team tournament, so I have to stick with what I know. But I think the thing I don't like about the French is I don't like being so jammed in and cramped.
Yeah, Max got in trouble once when he was on a ship and they made him walk the plank. Terrible. Yeah. And right before he fell in, they're like, okay, just don't do it again. But he couldn't stop. It was constant.
Well, I know there's a Planck's constant, but what are you talking about?
This guy made some stuff up, so I was making fun of him.
Oh. I didn't see
Yeah,
it.
there's nothing small about it. It's the Max. Do you know Max Planck's brother, Max Power?
No.
Yeah, he was a hairdryer. Yeah.
Hey, Dominic, how's it going? The exchange variations. Yeah, I hate the exchange variation. Little kids like to play that a
You
lot.
hate it with white or black?
Well, I don't play the French when I'm white, no matter what they do.
Yeah, but if you had white, then it would be the same as having black, but it'd be your move.
I don't like it as black.
Why not? It's too easy? You've equalized too simply?
Well, because at my level, it always feels like I get boring positions from the exchange. But
Well, we're going to take care of that.
Okay.
Now, imagine this, okay? Imagine there's no French defense.
Yeah.
It's easy if you try. No London or Nimzo. Above us, only pi. Yum. Okay. So imagine a chess game went like this.
Yeah.
D4, D5, which the first game does go. Okay? Now imagine we took these two pawns off. You got that? That's the exchange French.
I know what it is.
But you've had white and black in this position.
I've had it. I'm explaining to you. I don't like it.
But it's
That's
good
all.
because your pawn's gone, so your bishop is actually good. See, Karen plays the French, so the exchange French, her bishop on c8 isn't bad, so she doesn't like it. True story.
I already told you why I don't like it. I tend to get boring positions with it. You know, at my level, that's
This
what I
guy,
do.
this guy thinks my imagine thing that I made up while I was saying it is planned. And Aviv said
No.
that too once. Aviv's like, "You must be Reed," and I'm like, "No, I don't plan anything. Terrible. What am I, a hack? Stand by your French.
Ben's not a planner.
Have the two bishops and no space. Then you resign 'cause you're mated. When
Yay.
your king is cold and
Hey,
lonely.
Kingpin.
Stand by your French, baby. Yeah.
Well, and I realize that the boringness is created by me. I do understand that, but that I don't know how to be different.
Yeah.
Trying to be different. Be better. I like the London, so
She doesn't like the exchange French, except she does well when she plays it. So there you go. True story. You have good results.
I don't even recall that.
Yeah.
Who did I?
You always do
Beat.
well. Everybody. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I remember. Lang Lang Digga. Now, I'm not saying that he's a gold digger, but he ain't messing with no broke something. Right? She claims she doesn't know that song. So you know the song Gold Digger, and you know the part that they sampled Ray Charles? I heard the Ray Charles song on the radio yesterday on the 50s or 60s, I think 50s. Man, Ray Charles was good, unlike current, terrible people. No wonder they sample his music.
well, I said I'm not sure about the song. That I might have heard it. I didn't recognize it based on your description. Jobava London is the best London.
What about Joe Mama and Joe Bava?
Magnus likes the London, and he's a trendsetter.
What you guys didn't know is Ray Charles was a chess player. He played chess all the time, and he was on the cover of a Chess Life magazine playing chess.
Cool. I saw Ray Charles live in Piedmont Park in Atlanta.
He
years
must be
ago.
good or something. This guy's saying Kanye's good. Terrible take.
Well, as long as he doesn't have to sing.
Right. Yeah. He's good as long as I don't have to hear him.
No, I mean, I think his rapping sounds good. But, some of those rappers, when they try to sing just a little bit, terrible. He can't hit a right note.
Who?
Kanye.
Oh, yeah, he can't sing. He just talks nonsense.
Can't sing.
Yeah. He also is insane. Yeah. You like the old
He
Kanye.
does have some issues. Yeah, he has to get other people to sing. That's right.
Ray the movie is great. Agreed. Who played Ray Charles? Also a chess player.
The guy that dated Jamie Foxx.
Right. Yeah, he's also a chess player.
Hey, you got something right there. It's popcorn, I think.
Yeah, but you get this thing on your... Oh.
Wait. Oh, there it went.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Why couldn't Stevie Wonder see his friends because he was married? Have you seen Stevie Wonder's house? Say no.
No.
Neither has he.
You've told that joke.
Yeah, but they don't know.
They do.
No.
I know it.
They don't. It's for them. Yeah.
Karen,
One time... Oh, sorry.
No, he says, Karen, what are you doing in this tournament if white doesn't play e4?
That's not going to happen.
No, people play d4 a lot. That's a good question.
I have spoken.
Because I typically play Queen's Gambit Decline, which I've grown to abhor. And now I've been trying to learn.
They don't know what a whore means. They just thought you said whore. They don't. They have no idea what you're talking about.
I abhor whores too. And now, trying to learn the King's Indian, and I don't know it well enough to play it in my tournament. So I guess I'm stuck with the
You know
Queen's
who
Gambit.
does not play the King's Indian? Do you know who doesn't abhor whores? Serious answer.
Quite a lot of people.
Well, no, but there's one in particular who just loves them.
I don't know.
He's a character on Sunny. Frank
Frank,
loves the whores. Yeah, he doesn't know how to say whore, but still. Mm-hmm. Good thing we're on Chess TV, just talking about whores.
Yeah, I like the King's Indian Defense, the little bit that I've been playing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get to finish the video series.
Roxy is the best. Not just taking care of my crank, but also in my heart. Right?
Yeah.
Roxy.
Yeah. Yay, Man Moth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Roxy's pretty good.
I like when he proposed to her, he got on his knee and he was wearing like a t-shirt. Like, you remember we had t-shirt
I
on?
can't remember.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
You can still do it with other guys, but I want to make this legit. He's a genius of the highest caliber. Anyway, the guy that I played one game with yesterday that I thought cheated, he probably didn't cheat, but I'm not convinced. And the other guy did not cheat. The guy who beat me 8-0, and that's all I can say. But he did not cheat. All right, I'm not allowed to talk about it, but he did not cheat. Okay, but he's better than me. And then some. Yeah, it might be better than Magnus. Okay, and so on. Probably neither cheated, but definitely the guy who beat me 8-0 didn't cheat. All right, so no, I don't think it was Magnus. That seems very, 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 very. I don't know who it was, but it seems really unlikely Magnus would play 3-minute with me on chess.com. That seems like the least likely. I mean, he plays on Lee Chess usually. He's playing in Tata Steel. He's probably asleep. I don't believe any of that. Yeah, it was a Nigel Short. Nigel Short, I would beat 8-0. Mortal Wompret subscribed. Nigel Short, Jesus Christ. It could have been Magnus from the future. That's also possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, there's pi seconds left in the hype train. No, it wasn't Danya. If it was Danya, I would have lost wars. Okay, so the first few games we're going to talk about the London. Then we're going to talk about the French. Hopefully the lesson goes 2 hours. But generally, when something lasts for 2 hours, Karen falls asleep and I have to call my doctor. So that's probably not going to happen.
It's hard to concentrate for 2 hours, but I'll do my best.
When Shabalov gives lessons, he 2 hour minimum.
Maybe after we do we could take a little breaky here.
Okay, and also, when I went to Kaidanov's house before you were born, we did chess all day, like 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., nonstop. Like we would eat at the chessboards.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when he went to sleep, he'd give me stuff to do all night. So I was telling him a funny story. or no, this is a funny story. I'm telling you. It was about 6 o'clock in the evening, and we hadn't eaten. And we were like, 11 hours into the lesson. And I said, maybe we can go eat. And he says, oh, man, I'm sorry, I forgot. And he loves Olive Garden. Now, I don't know if he still loves Olive Garden, but at the time, this is 1993. And I said, well, let's go to the Olive Garden. There's one at the mall. And he said, there's no Olive Garden there. And I said, yeah, I saw it. And he's like, what? Because he loves Olive Garden. There was one a mile from his house. He didn't know it was there. I drove by it when I went to his house. So I'd been there for an hour, and I knew there was an Olive Garden next to his house because he loves Olive Garden. Also, he loves Raisin Bran. That's a different story. Thanks, Farty Party. Okay, so anyway, he told me a funny story. He was working with another player that wasn't me before named Larry Remlinger. He's an IM from California. And Remlinger was in his 50s, I guess, late 50s. And at some point, Remlinger said, can we stop? This is just too much. Because Kaidanov will never stop. So his wife said. He'll teach chess all day and all night. He won't stop. So the guy's like, can we stop? Like, this is when you're in your 50s and you're not expecting it, you can have like a 12-hour chess lesson. You're just not. And he's like, oh, yeah, sorry. Now, when I worked at chess camps with Kaidanov in suburban Phoenix, probably Tempe, because, it's a Tempe chess word. He would teach the camp like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. He'd get to his hotel. He would teach online until he went to bed. Then when he woke up, he'd wake up at 6:30 in the morning and teach online before the camp. What?
Got to make some money.
When I do a chess camp, like, that's it. Then, party all night. All right. Olive Garden's great. We want authentic Italian food. Correct. Except for one thing. 75 cents. God damn.
It's not horrible.
What?
Olive Garden.
Yeah, it's a restaurant.
The salads,
nothing wrong with it.
Salads are good. And your brother loves the restaurant.
I don't mind eating there if the stuff's vegan. They claim it's vegan, but very suspicious. No, the important thing, Yabba, is that you type in all caps. That's the important thing. If you don't do that, then nothing will happen. Is he banned again yet?
No.
All right. Yeah. The food is not soaked in butter. They don't use butter for their breadsticks. They use fake butter. Also, if you go to the movies and you put butter on your popcorn, that's not butter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaidanov lesson, don't stop. Yeah.
Yeah, Olive Garden's not bad. It's just not...
There's a famous review of Olive Garden.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. They'll know. This woman who was like 475 years old, she started doing restaurant reviews where she lived in like Bodunk, Bumblefuck, Alabama or somewhere. I don't know where she lived, Nebraska.
Like Dothan.
And and she was like, Olive Garden. And then she wrote like this review like, oh my God, this is so good. And she gave like 20 reasons. And that review went viral and everybody, like, they'll know about it. Yeah. Minnesota or North Dakota. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It was like 10 years ago. She was like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened in our town. And they were like, what? Yeah. She was only 99 years old. No, she was like 80. But she started writing restaurant reviews. Olive Garden. Wow. I never heard, how could this be? She'd like never heard of Olive Garden. So she was like, man, this is great. And so forth. Okay.
All right.
Looks like we're going to die on level 1.
That's
Her Yelp
right.
review of Walmart was glowing too. Well, that's Guy. Okay, so this is Kamsky versus Gogunov. Gogunov sounds like a character in video games you guys play. Right? Come on, back me up. There's probably somebody with a very similar name to Gogunov. Yeah. She was in Fargo. Thanks, Karpov. Hey, can we, get the train to level 2? Yeah, Gokunov. Gokunov is, go Goku. Is Goku your favorite?
I don't think I've heard of Goku. No.
Oh, what about Goku?
No.
Okay.
Roku.
Yeah, so this is, I guess we're going to die on level 1. Boo! 2,000 people. Nobody can donate $1. Man, harsh.
No, I don't have any recent games, Bonarici. I mean, I could have dug up some older ones, I guess, which I might do sometime for a future stream.
No, I'm giving Karen a chess lesson. We're not looking at her games. We're looking at a couple of
But
openings.
I will have some games. I'm in a tournament next weekend, and then I'll have
Thanks,
some
Mayhem.
games that'll, be embarrassing.
Anybody? Anyone? We're going to lose at 92% on level 1?
My rating's around 1,300, Lord Gus. At the moment, I feel like I can go up, even though I am.
Man, International Holocaust Day. I
Not
thought
good.
Hitler was the worst, but then I saw you guys not donating. Terrible. Look at that. 99% and we died. Thanks, Karpov.
Well, maybe, maybe they gave yesterday.
Terrible. That's not see good. Okay, so D4, D5. You've had this position.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you play bishop F4 on move 2 normally?
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you play E3 or knight F3?
E3.
Okay. But then when they do that, do you sit there confused and play C3?
I play C3. Is that wrong?
Komsky. Well, it's not flexible because 99 times out of 100 you're going to go here, and you always play here, but sometimes you should play here, your favorite game, Carlsen Finegold.
Yeah.
Okay. Knight C6. Then he played knight here because still not sure if he's gonna, what he's gonna do. Now this is a move you would like, and let me tell you why you'd like it. The main thing you're scared of. Thanks, SC Wang. Ooh, tier 2. Okay. The main thing you're afraid of is they play here and they're threatening that, and then you start crying. She's a woman, she gets hysterical. So if you play here, you can always play rook b1 in that instance. And also, queen takes pawn doesn't attack your rook because your rook's defended. So you can easily sack a pawn because the guy's making 700 queen moves. And you could get some kind of counterplay.
Yeah.
Okay. E6. C3, now you're happy. You've probably had white in this position, either by transposition or not. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you a game where the guy leaves the bishop here, and black doesn't take it, so he goes back, but Komsky went back right away.
That's what I would do.
Right, okay.
That's
so
right.
you and Komsky are like that, son. Castles. So you could have white in this position, and you're sort of hoping that he takes this, because when you take with the H pawn, you could get some attack here. Okay, B6. Very reasonable. Komsky played queen E2. Now, the next move Komsky plays is very unusual, but I understand it completely. Now, your opponent might play C4 attacking your bishop, and you'll retreat your bishop. There's two ideas for white here that are not boring, okay? First of all, you could electrocute Bender with a random number generator. Why would you do that? It's not boring. Okay. If you watch Futurama, you'll get that. Okay, so the two moves white can make that aren't boring, and the two ideas, can you show me, give me an idea of what white could do that's not boring?
Maybe 95.
And this is even scarier. I'll hold you.
Just a second. Let's think about it. Maybe E4.
Correct.
I know
Now,
that there's always supposed to be an E push, and I don't ever do it at the right time.
I know. Now, here's something you've done in the past. She'll probably deny it because she'll see, I didn't do that. Okay? Many people are saying she did it. In the past, you went here in some positions, and then a few moves later, you took the bishop. Yeah, don't do that.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
I haven't done that any time recently.
Now, when I show you this move Komsky played, it's the greatest move ever. It's really boring, though. Notice Komsky played here instead of castling. And he is not going to castle queenside. It's too dangerous. So he played rook to d1. Okay, there's two reasons for this. He wants this to open up, right? The e4 move we were talking about. So he'd like to play pawn takes and then e4, and he's got some attack here. The other idea is after c4, he could play bishop to b1, and his rook on a1's not trapped. I'm not familiar with this idea in this position. And also he delays castling, which means it's hard for black to take this. But if you castle kingside, it's easy for black to take that. No. Okay. Rook e8. He wants to play e5. So rook e8. Kamsky plays e4, threatening e5. Yeah, now this rook is well placed. You could imagine like takes, and then, I'm going to play d takes c, and so forth. And obviously you can't allow losing a piece. Okay. He played bishop e7. That's the best move in its theory. And by the way, this reminds me, it could be the exact same, I don't know, of a game Kamsky-Nakamura from the U.S. Championship about 10 years ago, where the game ended in a draw. Okay. So if they take it, you take it with the knight, or they take this and you take it with the pawn, you're sort of getting everything you want. So that's why they go here. If you play this move, then you're killing your bishop, right? Okay, but that was the point. And then knight h5, so that way he wants to trade this knight for this bishop. Now, the reason I don't like engines is because they're mean to me. But the other reason is this position, and you have to look at your own engine because you won't believe me. Like if Spencer's watching, and which he is, unless he stopped. If he's not watching, the other Spencer's watching, Andrew Spencer. h4 is the engine move. Terrible. Letting him destroy your pawn structure and such. Okay. Kamsky played a3. That's the second engine move. Okay, and now the reason is if this ever gets traded on d4, black has access to the b4 square, except now he doesn't. Okay, c4. The bishop goes back. g6, stopping all kinds of tricks here. And also, the knight has a retreat square in case black doesn't want to open the h file. Knight f1, that's a human move. Again, he's not castling Karen because he's waiting for this open h file. And he's just maneuvering his knight to a better square. Knight here, checkmate. Okay, and black's playing on the queen's side, white's playing on the king's side. This maneuver, which you'll see in the King's Indian attack when white is usually knight here, knight g4. But this is different. So you can see white has a lot of pieces, ready to go to the king's side, and black is pushing over here. In this position, the arbiter stopped the game because it was too exciting. Stop, it's too exciting.
Why does the b4 square matter? Says Jim Stewart.
You don't want people to get up all in your grill. You don't want that. Now, this will shock you. Okay, then we'll have to call the electrician. The engine says white's winning here. 1.67. And nothing's been traded. But white has a long-term kingside attack, and black's queenside attack, and this bishop on b7 are terrible. Okay, b4. Thanks, trying to learn.
Yay, thank you, trying to learn.
Queen e3, defending his pawn, and he wants to go up here. Man, that's not even our dogs.
It's not our dogs, but it's out. Good. It's not our dogs because it's outside.
Yeah, our dogs would be louder.
That's that little brown dog that is annoying. Our dogs don't like it.
Okay, BC. Oh, I'm sorry. My manners. BCE. What an idiot. All right, and he sacrificed a pawn, much to Karen's chagrin. Rook b8, taking the file. Bishop f4. So once this knight takes, which he didn't do, and you take with the queen, then you can play h4, h5, because the knight's not there blocking your h-pawn. Bishop c8, a silly move, but he wants to get his rook open. Bishop g5. It's very important for Kamsky to trade off the dark squared bishops because of the pawn structure. Black has no way to defend the dark squares except with his bishop. So once they're gone, this bishop is shallow and pedantic. And then I'm going to play h4, h5, and I'm going to checkmate you. And I'm going to penetrate on the dark squares.
Yeah, all his pawns are on.
The reason you can penetrate and it's not good for the other person is they don't have any prophylaxis.
Hey, there's something in my eye. I'm just going to get off this camera for a second and get it, attend to business. I'll be right back.
Thanks for the subs, Web Chess.
Bothering
Z Web Chess. You're the best. Take it off. Thanks, Dangerous Dave. You're the best.
All right, I think it was an eyelash.
I want to teach you a new dance. It's called the Penetrada. It makes sex look like church. What cartoon? It's one you wouldn't guess. It sounds like Family Guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's The Simpsons, yeah. They went to Brazil, and they're in Brazil, and Marge and Lisa are there, and the guy says that to her, and I says, I don't think you should be talking like this in front of my daughter. And then she walks away, and he yells at her like, they grow up fast, lady, or something silly. 100 centidues from C. Esposito.
Yay.
Right. This is an abstinent state in Georgia, except for one thing. The one thing is owning guns. If you don't own a gun, you can get arrested. So there actually was a town where they passed a law you have to buy a gun. You're not allowed not to have a gun.
Really?
Yeah, not in Georgia. But,
in the U.S.?
Yeah. I don't think that passed, Yeah, you can't protect her forever. That's what he yells. Yeah. It's all pink and purple. Yeah. Yeah, Meatpex is referencing the Simpsons episode because that's what Homer did. When they had the meeting of the NGA, the national, that was on Simpsons. They can't say NRA, they'll get sued. They had a metal detector, and if it beeped, you could go in. If you didn't have a gun, you were in trouble. They would give you a gun, then you could go in. Yeah.
What about Kennesaw? Kennesaw had such a law.
Man, truth hurts.
S.C. Cowell.
Well, Kennesaw rhymes with law, so all right.
That must
Black
have been
played
an
Rook
old law.
B3, and he was all over Komsky. Kieran would be like, no, I'm losing a pawn. Boo. Okay, H4, put it in H. Queen B6. Now there's actually a threat. Right now it's actually attacked. Okay, so bishop C2. He takes the pawn, because that pawn's very important. No. Okay, Komsky trades the dark squared bishops and plays queen H6. So you can see black's not doing very well because black's getting checkmated. What white wants to do is play knight here check, king here mate, or knight here check, knight takes, pawn takes with unstoppable mate. So this is the next move. If you don't like that, you're like, I don't like mating like that, that's fine. You can play knight G5 and then mate him in here. Okay, so black played knife F5 attacking the queen, and Komsky took it. And then played knight G5, threatening checkmate. Now, the reason black took with the e-pawn is after this check, you can't take the knight because you're pinned. And if you could take the knight, then queen takes pawn would stop the mate. So that knight F6 doesn't work, but knight G5 works. Now we're threatening queen takes mate. So we got to stop that. Knight F6. And you're like, knight F6, but, and remember that's pinned? Yeah. So now Komsky played a great dual purpose move, right? And then he took out a glove and he slapped his opponent and challenged him to a duel.
Dual purpose move.
Yeah. So you would like to play pawn takes knight, and
I would just take with the knight.
you would like this pawn not to take your knight.
Right.
If you take with the knight and I take with the queen, you're all talking
yeah.
a badge.
Oh, yeah,
you can
still
check
pawns.
here, and then that you want a pawn. But I already want a pawn. Okay, and white's better here also.
I keep forgetting.
Komsky's move is much stronger, but very hard to find. It's hard to find retreats. And we decided we wanted to go on a retreat, me and Karen, and we decided to vacation in about a month to the Ukraine also known as Ukraine, right near the Russian border. That was where we decided to retreat. Is that a good idea? Yeah. See, she said it was a good idea. Yeah. You know what the chicken tastes like in Ukraine?
I guess chicken.
No. That's always the answer. But I said in Ukraine.
I know.
Tastes like chicken Kiev. Oh, snap.
So maybe, I'm not sure what the retreating 93.
Correct.
Because then the pan's broken.
Now you can take this knight.
Yeah.
If the knight moves away, we take that. Okay, now F4 attacking the knight. And you will know Kamsky is the lord. Because he plays knight takes d5. Now, let's say you take this instead, because you're like, well, what's wrong with that? I take, and now I'm pinning your knight, so I'm going to win your knight. And this is also winning for white, but what Kamsky did was better. Okay, he played knight takes d5. Notice I'm threatening the queen. By the way, it was really important that black wasted 7 tempi to take this pawn. You can't play knight takes because queen takes mate. Okay. Your queen's attacked. And you can't let me play knight takes knight check. So you have to move your queen and defend your knight. Okay, so he played queen d8. Thanks for the thing, Justin Old Nerd. Well, I want to thanks for Justin Old Nerd. We're driving today, me and Karen. I'm doing this. I don't know why. She's sleeping probably. And then the car in front of me, the license plate said 2 dorks. The number 2 and then dorks. And I was thinking of Pulp Fiction when he says, what do they look like? They look like dorks. They look like a couple of dorks. And since it's 2 dorks, it's got to be from Pulp Fiction. But you can't fit a couple of dorks on a license plate. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good chat there. Good chat. All right, now this is the greatest thing that's ever happened, is in this position.
All right.
Nothing greater has ever happened. Kamsky played a move and his opponent resigned. The better you are at chess, the more you're going to be like, oh my God. If you're low rated, you won't like it. If you're low rated, you're like, is it this? Is it this? Is it rook a1 sacking 2 rooks? Okay, is it 96? That's the move low-rated players like. If you're a higher-rated player, this is the move you like. Now, white has one problem, which you've noticed more than I have. If you were white, you would have castled every single move this game. There's no way your king would still be there.
I'm a late castler, but I would have castled by now.
Right. Now, the only problem white has is this e-pawn's pinned. If the e-pawn wasn't pinned, pawn takes knight wins, and knight takes knight wins. So Kamsky castled. And the game's over. Because your queen's defending your knight, you can't play knight takes because of the obvious mate. If you play queen takes, your queen's not defending the knight anymore. So you can't stop mate. So after castles, it's forced mate in 5, and black resigned. I like the way castles was the last move. Because it unpinned the e-pawn.
Yeah.
Now that's an attack. And you guys said the London was boring.
Yeah, I don't think the London's boring.
King F1 is also good. It said castles was better. Like it's a quicker mate. But I didn't know why. I didn't know why King F1 mated more slowly than castles. But it does. Big money when we stop. $9.99. Hi, R.A. Kelly. You're my favorite R. Kelly.
You said Londoners were boring. I like the London, and I like Londoners.
I told this British guy the London was boring, and he said, don't rain on my parade. I didn't understand him. I was a bit foggy. Let's see, what other jokes can I make? Oh, yeah, I'm Big Ben. All right, that's like 3 jokes. Yeah. VZDJ88 subscribe.
Yay.
Good.
Suspicious. The London is fine, says Francis Sutton. I like London. What's wrong with London?
You mean the karaoke guy?
Yeah, I like him too, but I like you. You complain a little bit about London, but I loved it when I visited.
Mm-hmm. You have a do with a funny joke. Did God accuse his opponent of cheating after the game? Yes. No, these games are played in real life. They're not played on the internet where you're all cheating. Okay, next game. Whenever the chat says something about chess, think the opposite. Then you'll be good at chess. Thanks for the 1 cent.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Bam! This is the game Magnus Carlsen against Gaim Magami. And when the game was going on, Magnus took his opponent and folded him up. And then when he complained to the arbiter, he says, "Oh, Magami, I thought your name was
Origami."
Origami. Yeah. And so forth.
That was not rehearsed.
He accused 6'11" opponents Untitled Tuesday. That sounds like him. Yeah. But what's funny was only 5 of them were cheating. So he was wrong about 1. I made all that up, but I don't know, probably true. One time Matt Larson played Untitled Tuesday like 2 years ago, and he said when the tournament ended, 2 of his opponents had been thrown out for cheating, and he knows a third one cheated, but they didn't get thrown out.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. Okay, so Carlsen's white. Let's have a look. He played knight f3 first. This is the game Carlsen Finegold. I didn't play that. I played bishop f5. You've had white in this position.
Yeah.
Okay. This is just your game. Bishop g3. This looks like the other game. You know why it looks like the other game? Because it is.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And he took, in the other game, there was a b6, bishop b7 being played. Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, he took. Now, did Carlsen take with the f pawn or the h pawn?
I mean, usually you take with the H.
Correct. Good. Queen d6. Probably black wants to play e5. Now, here's a move you would never play, even though we've discussed it many times. If black plays e5, he really shouldn't have anything to fear. Okay, except Glenn Fleer. You have nothing to fear but Glenn Fleer. GM from Great Britain. You never heard of him because he's a British GM. Okay, now, you don't want your opponents to play here, and you can't play here yourself because it's not defended sufficiently. So what's the only move that would stop black from playing e5? Karen's drinking Stella, obviously. Frankly.
Maybe bishop b5.
Correct.
I do play that sometimes.
And then, surprising Karen, after this move, he chopped it off because he wants to play.
Well, he wants to control the
So let's do it.
e5 square.
Let's use it.
So yeah, knight e5.
Right.
Yeah.
Go Magnus. Okay. Queen c7, always retreat.
I have played that.
I must admit I don't understand Queen c7 like at all. Like, does an engine suggest that move? No. That's not one of the top engine moves. All right. It says white's better because the bishop is shallow and pedantic. Okay. Then he played queen f3, which is a favorite. Your favorite person in Charlotte plays that a lot in this opening.
Well, not my favorite. You talking about Naroditsky?
Oh, I forgot about him.
Oh.
No, I meant Peter.
Oh.
I forgot about Naroditsky. All right. You probably like Peter more than Naroditsky, even though Peter's insane and Naroditsky's normal.
I've never even met Naroditsky.
Right. Naroditsky's a normal person. Peter's insane, obviously.
Peter's not insane.
But we still like Peter.
Love Pete. Love you,
Well,
Peter.
obviously he's insane.
No.
But he's, a nice guy.
Not insane.
No?
No.
What about Trump and such?
You know.
See? Okay.
My mom voted for Trump.
Yeah, but she was just kidding.
No.
Yeah.
Wasn't kidding at all.
But Peter's not religious. which is a weird reason to vote for him. Because you talk about a guy who's not religious, it's Trump. And then your mom's like, yeah, Trump, because Republican, religious. Okay. Now, this is, you see the knight on D2?
Yeah.
That's very good. It defends these squares that aren't defended. So when you go here, you're I'm making a word up, but I still can't say it. Your knights. Here, your knights defend all kinds of squares, and you're getting your queen involved. So queen here, protecting e4. Now, if black plays knight to d7, queen f7 is annoying. Okay. So he played h6, which is very reasonable, because you don't want this pawn here, and you're sort of afraid of castling either side. Okay, and Magnus played queen f4, which is the engine move. Lining these pieces up, confusing the audience. Queen e7, and then g4. He wants to play g5, and you can see this is pinned. Black has very little counterplay because this bishop is so bad. And it should feel bad. Okay, knight h7 is a very bad move. So basically, he's what's he doing to Peter to spite Paul? What's the saying? There's a saying about Peter and Paul. That's what he's doing. Okay, so the engine wants him to play knight d7 because it would be good to kick out this knight. He's robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? He's like, oh no, g5, and Magnus is like, keep it down, okay? So he's like, there's no g5 for you, roar. I wonder if he said roar. But now he's made an elementary mistake. You see how the queen is overworked? Yeah, so he needed to play knight d7. But he's so afraid of g5, he permanently stops it, forgetting about the rest of the board. Magnus plays queen g3. It would have been better to take these, but all right. Did it later. Rook g8 is ridiculous. But he's too afraid to castle, because here comes f4, g5. Play queen here so he could play f4 and then continue. Rook g8 is an insane, terrible, horrible move. It's like I'm playing Magnus and he started crying. That's basically what happened. Yeah. Yeah, if you play Rook g8 and you're my student, you're not my student anymore. It's funny how Magnus is better than these random GMs like this guy. This guy's like a little better than me. And then they play a move they would never play because they're so afraid. Okay, Magnus castled because black can't castle kingside anymore. Rook c1 and c4. So Magnus castled. His opponent cannot castle. So now he's going to open up the center. c4 and destroy. Okay. And he's just opening it up. Okay. And this is just terrible, terrible, terrible for black. What black should do in this position is castle kingside. He should play king g8, rook f8, and hope there's no like tricks that win. Probably there are. Right, so this is just dead lost. Now, I don't want you to cry because black played the best move here, and you're not going to like it. You're going to be like, no. King e7. That's the engine move. So he wants to get his rook here, which he can't because the attack is coming. And he wants to stop knight d6 check, so he's defending d6. Terrible. All right. Now, Magnus has many moves that win here. He didn't play the most accurate, but he played the most exciting. Now, the difference between you and Magnus, and there's almost none, is when you have a good position, and this goes for all of you watching, you're not very incisive. You might say like, I don't know, rook here looks good, and rook there does look good. You might say, ooh, a3, b4, that looks good, and that does look good. You might say f4, g5, that looks good. Okay? And Magnus says, my opponent played king e7 and rook g8. His queen's lined up with my rook. I have to be winning. And he has more than one winning move. He played b4. He's trying to get the queen away from d6. And after he takes it, Magnus plays knight d3, always retreat, and the queen has to leave d6. There's nowhere the queen can go, where I can't play queen here check. And he actually played the best move. Now let me show you a funny variation. Let's say I'm going to make a move. Okay. Now, the best move for white here is amazing. It's amazing geometry. You want to play knight d6 check.
Right.
But your queen's in the way. What's the most important? This rank, this file, this diagonal, or this diagonal? What's the most important for white to control?
I'm not sure.
You want to control these squares near the black king.
Okay.
Because then if you play knight d6 check, I don't know what black does. So the best move is queen a3. Now you have unstoppable knight d6 check. And the engine says plus 1,000,000. It is too strong. And then you can see that black's going to be in trouble. So black didn't do that. Black played the engine move, knight e4. Okay, so you attack my queen, I attack your queen. We're a happy family. But obviously, white's winning a piece here. White took this. Okay, so white's up a piece. Okay, now let's go back. Let's say you're like all the people watching, okay, and you say, trade when you're ahead, because my coach who's bad at chess told me that. I wonder if they would actually say it in those words. Okay, this is a blunder. Now black's winning. Rook takes, pawn takes, rook here. That's the end of your extra piece. Terrible. Yeah, and if rook f4, then g5. And if rook e4, then b5. There's nothing you can do. Okay, so Magnus takes, and the guy, he takes his shot, plays bishop b5. Looks good. Okay. Now, after knight e4, again, Megami was like, okay, I have to play knight e4 because this is tricky. And maybe I'm losing, but maybe I'm not. That's not how top players play. When Magnus played knight d3, he saw this. He knew knight e4 didn't work because he saw his next move. White only has one move that wins. It's the kind of move you would play a lot. This would be like a puzzle if you were doing like Puzzle Rush or whatever we do puzzles. The problem with defending your knight in a boring way is that your knight's perpetually pinned. It's pinned, and you can't move it because you lose your rook. So this rook comes in, and then white's like, man, my knights can't move. Terrible.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so you have to look at forcing moves. This is the most forcing move.
Well, I was looking at knight c6.
No, more forcing than that.
Because that's a check, but...
Yep, continue. Give me some other checks.
Well, I mean, none of them seem very good.
It's okay. Give me the ones that aren't good.
Oh, yeah, you could go rook f7 check.
That's what Magnus did.
Because then you have a little forky.
A little. Okay, so takes, check. Here, check. Here, bishop a4. Now the knight's trapped on a7. Okay, and I'm guessing, I can't prove it, in this position, Magnus saw that position. Magnus said, takes. Only bishop b5 gives me trouble. Let's analyze this. My knight's trapped. You can't attack the knight now because your bishop's hanging. So this happened, right? Mm-hmm. Now, rook here would trap your knight. See how these pieces are lined up? Mm-hmm. So that means a knight here or a knight here would fork them.
Right.
So Magnus played knight d3. What's going on? I know he played knight d3. Okay. And then black resigned because there's nothing you can do about that. Your bishop's trapped, which is funny because the knight's trapped. So I'm gonna win this piece, and you can win that. But I don't care. I'm marking a piece up.
Okay, I see.
So here he resigned. Truth hurts. It says he's +6. Yeah. So that was just all tactics, but they were based on the fact Black's king was here and his king was safe. And then he had triple pawns, which are 3 times as good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like it because of the triple pawns.
And because of this, Magnus was called an original G. He was an OG.
Hey, it's so cold down here.
All the games are slow games.
Are you cold?
No. If you're cold, you can turn the heat up. Then you won't be cold. No.
Well, when I go up maybe to take a break, because we get some heat from the upstairs, but we don't have heat down here really.
When you turn the heat up upstairs, there's nothing here?
There's the vent over there, and if it's open, which I'm not sure about, we get some.
Mm-hmm. She has layers. She has layers. Yeah. Mm-hmm. By the way, I got my Trae Young jersey today just in time. What happened to him today?
I don't know.
He was elected to start the All-Star game.
Oh.
For the East, along with DeMar DeRozan. He's the other guard. He's your favorite.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Women are always cold. Right. There's a very funny Family Guy episode where they climb, what's the biggest mountain?
Everest?
Yeah, they climb Mount Everest and they camp. And they're in a tent, and it's a blizzard and 30 below zero, and the tent isn't closed. It's like open a little. Mm-hmm. And it's like blowing in there, and she's like, "Oh my God." She says, "Can you close that?" And he says, "It's fine in here." And she says, "Close the tent." And he says, headline, "Woman Cold."
Oh, yeah.
Which is funny because it's free, So, yeah. Joel Embiid. Yeah, Joel Embiid's good. The Lakers are not good. There's good and there's not good. I've been telling you for 2 years the Lakers are no good. And you guys are like, the Lakers. Then you start crying. Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a blanket.
You know why they're crying when they talk about the Lakers? Because the Lakers are no good.
Yeah.
It's a good reason. Yeah.
How does everybody have time to watch all these sports?
What? You were already crying. Yeah. Okay, next. Ready for another game? Or you need a break?
I'm ready.
Okay, this is Jonathan Spielman against Aldo Hike. And Hike was a football player when he was a kid. And then after the joke with Hike stopped working, then he stopped. Now, he's actually a French IM/GM. Jonathan Spielman was a candidate, not to be confused with Rudolph Spielman, who was famous in the 20s and 30s. And John Spielman was famous in the 80s and 90s. And John Spielman spells his name differently than Rudolph Spielman. And he's from a different country. Ninsham subscribed. Hooray. Now, Kobe. Now, Spielman is a very unusual player. He plays his own way. Mm-hmm. And he won a candidates match in 1988 against Yasser Seirawan. And the final score was 4.5, 1.5. With Yasser having 3 draws and 3 losses.
What year was it?
88 in February. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rudolph has a great book on the art of sacrifice. Also Charlotte Chess Center. They had a tournament once that Spielman was playing in, and the lights went out. So they had to stop the games. But Spielman made sure everybody could see, because he's Rudolph. Rudolph the red-nosed Spielman had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw him, you would say his chest blows. All of the other GMs used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Spielman win any chess games. Then one foggy tournament eve, Rudolph came to say, "We can't see anything. I'll light my nose up. Let me win. Okay." Then all the GMs loved him. Then they shouted out with glee, "Rudolph the red-nosed Spielman, you'll go down in history." I make up the lyrics as I'm saying them.
I know.
Right, they don't. They're like, "Oh, you must have wrote that down because I'm dumb and I can't do anything on my own." That's correct.
Hey, did anybody give Charlotte Chess Center a shout out?
Go Charlotte Chess Center. Thanks, Kevin Hart.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Matthew
Kevin
Eskelin.
Hart.
Can you guys like give a thing to that? What was that called? A marker?
Oh, yeah.
Now, after that marker, we're going to do another marker. NordVPN. Yeah, Rudolph song, and then do a marker for the thing.
Oh, Nord?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Scripted, see? Professional rapper. I'm done and can't do anything on my own. Correct. Yeah. Ben stole my lyrics. Also correct. Okay. You put Nord ad? Is that right? Yeah. Oh, it's a Nord ad. Okay. I thought it was like NORAD. I thought, because it's a joke. Santa Claus, they track Santa Claus.
I should probably keep it.
So it's funny that you, like NORAD and NORDAD, that's pretty close. If you guys knew what NORAD was, which you don't, it's like 2% of you know what I'm talking about. The other 98% are furrowing their brow in a vain attempt to understand the situation. I can make up lyrics like that, son, but reading the same thing over and over, I have to look at it because, what am I, Shaq? I'm a pro rapper with a W, etc. Win any chess games, and they still don't. Yeah. Okay, NordVPN is our sponsor and our partner. I already have a partner, but it's the South. Super fast servers, 5,200 plus in 59 countries. If it was 58, I wouldn't let them be my sponsor. It unlocks Netflix and all your favorite entertainment websites. Don't ask, don't tell. 30-day money-back guarantee, unlike when you donate to me. Then there's nothing. Protects data while traveling. Cyber security suite, which acts as an ad blocker. No data logging. Rawr. 24/7 customer support, obviously. Up to 6 simultaneous connections. Double data encryption. Go data encryption. I could break that code, but I'm not supposed to tell you that. Right? Mm-hmm. No. Compatible with most operating systems. Unlimited bandwidth. That should be like the first thing. That should be on the second page. Come on, Nord guys, get your talking points. Unlimited bandwidth is next to this. Come on. Automatic kill switch. So like if you're playing chess and your opponent's crushing you, that kill switch comes in handy. NordVPN has an extension for Chrome. IKEv2 IP security protocol. P2P sharing allowed. You know why? I'm going to allow it. Yeah. NordVPN is the best VPN because everybody said so, but mainly because I said so. Other people I don't care about, but me. And use the extension for Chrome or Firefox. If a new game is being released somewhere else and you can't get it for a month, you can get it. Know what I mean? They know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Change your IP. Okay. And I changed my IP once because my doctor told me to, and now I'm IP freely. Right?
I don't know what that means.
Ugh.
I was trying to read Output's comment. Mm-hmm. The 6 simultaneous connections thing is honestly pretty good. What does this mean? If you're doing stuff on VMs, that comes in handy. Mm-hmm. I once ran a bot farm.
Mm-hmm. I have no comment about stuff I did in the past. But yeah, Output coupler. Yeah. And what's funny is the stuff I did in the past I'll never talk about. Yeah. We used what's that stuff called? It's the programming language that you've mentioned.
The ones that I used to.
Maybe you didn't mention. Maybe it was Holden. I think it was Holden. What do you call it? Somebody tell me.
There are a lot of different languages.
Give me all of them, and then I'll tell you which one it was.
I programmed in Smalltalk.
No.
That was a million years ago.
No. Keep going. Name them all.
I programmed in Swift.
Name them all.
He likes Python.
Python.
Yeah.
Yeah. Python and our organization were like, that, son. No comment. Okay. Yeah, Python, and we used the Opera web browser. That was weird. That's correct, Charlotte. I agree with all of that. Yeah. Will there be chess on this chess stream? No. There's never been chess on this chess stream. Terrible. Man, Karen's going to ban you.
No, I forgot to do end of that.
Mm-hmm. End of ad. Hooray. Now, this isn't a joke, but it sounds like one. Karen's email address, AOL.com. And she's not even a boomer. She's too young. Terrible.
Barely.
Yeah, but still. My email address, which I don't tell you guys about, is the CompuServe. And then Archer uses Prodigy. And that's like all the jokes I can make. I don't even know if I can think of any other jokes. Yeah. So forth.
Well, I'm just going to keep using it until I can't.
Yeah.
I've got a Gmail.
GeoCities website, yeah.
No reason to.
Prodigies, god damn. That's correct. Yep.
Can you show your game against Richard Bauer from 2001?
I could, but that's not what this stream is about.
I never had a Hotmail account.
Truth hurts. Okay, next game, Spielman's White. This game was played before you guys were born. Notice how we transpose into like the King's Indian kind of London. Mm-hmm. You'd have White here. Okay, now what move does White play here because he's a chicken? That's what Spielman did. What's the chickenest move?
The chickenest move?
Yeah, it's the safest move.
I don't know, maybe H3.
Right. Yeah, that way there's no knight H5, none of that.
I'm a chicken, I know about
Right,
it.
okay. B6, bishop B2. Bishop here you don't want to play against G6, as we've discussed. Bishop C4 you could play, but then D5 could come with tempo. So it's probably better to play it after D6.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore.
Okay, D6, bishop H2. And he played C4. Here C4 makes more sense. Because you're playing C4, knight C3. Why would you play so passively when black hasn't... Black has no stake in the center. Do you know why?
He's vacant.
Correct. Good wife. That's the answer. That's right. Yeah. They all got the vegan. Yeah. Okay, so C4, which is...
Explosive.
E6, knight C3. So White has everything he wants except an advantage. Oh, snap. All right. Knight E4, must to trade. Knight D2 makes sense because maybe he won't see that. Okay. Actually, White wants to trade White squared bishops because Black put all of his pawns on dark squares over here. So this would be some weak squares where White can infiltrate, and he's going to play over there anyway. And so... yeah, he wants to get rid of this bishop, which is Black's best defensive piece. Okay, and he gets in there. Now in this position, Black can never move his rook for fear of this. So he got rid of that fear. Okay. Rook C1, E5, Queen C6. So this position's about equal, but Spielman's a much better player than his opponent. Rook A7 is, like really bad square for your rook. But he's afraid. If he plays Rook C8, also a bad square. And then when I start advancing here, he'd rather have his rook here to prevent that. Rook D1. You see how boring Spielman plays? He doesn't do anything. He just moves around. Okay. And eventually Spielman has to do something, even though he's against it. So he played B4. And now White has all these pawns that can move, and White wants to play C5 because his bishop's on H2. And then this is all crumbling. This is like a great stop to this bishop here, but after C5, it's all crumbled. It's very important that the rook's not on A1, so you're not worried about that anymore. Okay, so he took en passant. He took again. Knight takes. He wants to play knight C6 and knight B5. Knight B8. I would never play knight B8 unless I would. That's actually the engine's first move and second move. Terrible. Queen back, because you don't want your queen up in there. So obviously white's better here. This is silly, and my knight has all these good squares. Okay, rook a3. That's a tactical mistake. The reason he played rook a3 was stopping the knight moving, because he could take on b3.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, or so he thought. Yeah, he said, "Oh, yeah, take my b pawn." And the guy's like, "All right, then you will know Spielman is the Lord." Because white has 8,000 things attacking this, and there's things lined up, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he plays queen b7, and there's too much attack. And you know what this reminds me of? Reminds me of the game Kamsky-Gogunov. When Gogunov was like, "Ooh, my rook, and I'll win this pawn," and then Kamsky mated him. So this guy's like, "These pieces are all bad, but I moved my rook a few times, and now I want a pawn. But now you can't defend any of this. It's all hanging. There's nothing you can do. I'm threatening bishop takes, winning immediately. See the pin on the c pawn? You like pins, yeah. So this is totally crumbling. You can't stop it." Okay, he played bishop b2 attacking the rook, which I don't understand. Like, if white played rook b1, I don't know why he did that. I have no idea why he did that. Very strange to me.
Hey, Vinegar, how's it going?
Okay, so he played bishop d6, ignoring that. And then, the game's over. So he should resign and be ashamed of himself. That's what should happen. Yeah, the engine says he should give his queen away. But, okay, he played here. Boo, always play bishop f8. Black takes the rook. Now, let me ask you a hypothetical question. Mm-hmm. It's not hypothetical. What's better, this bishop or this bishop? Which is the better bishop?
The white bishop.
Yeah, because frankly terrible. So bishop h6. Now we're threatening rook takes bishop. You agree. Okay, so black stop that. And then knight c7. That's the most annoying move anybody's ever played ever. I'm threatening knight takes queen. You can't go here with your queen. You can't go here with your queen. You can't go here with your queen. Right? Right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see.
Well, if you move your queen to a square that's not one of these three squares, queen takes knight, checkmate. So even though white's only a pawn up, the engine says plus 20. Because that's pretty good. And I like the way black was setting up for the next game. Knight b8. And then he set up, in case they switch colors, now Spielman's ready for the next game. He can, yeah. And that's a real good example of outclassing your opponent. Like, Spielman's really good, and the other guy's not. The other guy's like me, but worse. And Spielman was top 10 in the world, so after it was an equal position, he outplayed his opponent like it was nothing. And his opponent thought rook a3 would stop the knight from moving, but he was sort of not right. And trading the white squared bishops was really good because white kept infiltrating here. And then he just won everything. And that bishop went from here, 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 here. Good, good. Now it's announcing mate in 10.
What does that mean? Knight c7 is a tea bag. I haven't heard that. Do you know what that means?
I wouldn't call that a tea bag. I mean, we're on Chess TV, so I can't tell you what a tea bag is. Yeah, you guys can explain what it is in the chat.
What's a tea bag?
It's a sexual term. It's like a thing you do as a joke.
Oh.
The explanation is for another stream. Right. Oh, I'll tell you when we're done.
Okay, I can look it up.
It's mostly from video games. Man, the truth hurts. Yeah. Yeah, see what he said? Yeah. And then Nigel Short would explain that you have testicles. And so, yeah, there you go. The most famous example of this was at some award show, like the Grammys or Academy Awards. And I don't remember what show it was. And then the guy, who's the famous British guy who's Kazakhstan? Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
And then he like flew down, and he was standing on top of Eminem and teabagging him, and Eminem left.
Yeah.
Yeah, true story.
So putting the balls on somebody's face,
Right?
Putting your balls.
Yeah. But that happened.
I knew it, but I forgot it. What an educational stream this is. I knew it and I forgot.
No, but you guys should find the video of Sacha Baron Cohen doing it to Eminem. Was it Eminem or Prince? Might have been Prince. Actually, now I think it was Prince, but it was one of them. Yeah, who was it? Was it Prince or was it Eminem? Oh, it was Eminem? Okay. Prince wouldn't have left.
It
I don't know about that. Yeah, Eminem wasn't happy about that.
I did hear about that.
Most guys don't want to be teabagged on national TV. Not usually. I mean, some would, but not him.
He's lucky that he didn't get punched. I mean, somebody puts their balls on my face, I'm going to, they're going to be sorry.
What? But what about... Oh, never mind.
Unasked for balls.
It's not balls. It's testicles. Yeah. You got to quote the Grandmasters here. Eminem was staged, except for one thing.
Oh, he was in on it?
I don't think so. They're claiming he was in on it, but I don't believe that. They're all saying it.
I can't imagine that he would. You're uncomfortable. Oh, we're sorry.
Man, the truth hurts. Aw. I can't tell if he's kidding. Now, he didn't spell I'm right, so maybe. He spelled uncomfortable right.
So he was in on it. Oh, they staged it.
Oh, they staged it? That's not
Yeah,
funny.
otherwise he would have punched him. So, yeah, I agree with that.
I wouldn't agree to be in on that. So, yeah.
Oh, he did an interview? Oh, he had a mic.
Very suspicious. You know why Eminem didn't like it? He's a coffee person.
Oh.
Hi, India.
Hey, in India.
I can't tell you're Indian from your name. Well, okay, maybe. Yeah. What's funny is that's their first initial, that name. All right, you want to take a break or next game?
Why don't we just rest for a second? I wish we
Okay.
had more popcorn. Now I'm wishing I could eat some. But is there any left? No.
Very little, but there's like a Karen amount. So, yeah, could be.
Do you think I should let the dogs out and I could grab the popcorn? Or
There's a very little popcorn left, and it's where I was eating. It's right there.
Oh, it's not going to be there anymore.
What do you mean?
The dogs are in there.
They don't climb on the table and get food.
Kazoo does.
No, they won't do that. Yeah.
No, I'm going to skip it. I don't feel like walking upstairs. So we can keep going. I am starting to get tired, though.
It is tiring. All right.
Thinking is tiring.
Karen said I could go all night and then some. What movie? My man can go all night and then some. I'm a good woman to you, Doc. It's true you are a good woman. On the other hand, you may just be the Antichrist.
Tombstone?
Correct.
Because of Doc. That's
Yeah,
the
that
only
was
reason I
good.
knew.
That's right. I'm a good woman to you, Doc. You Hungarian devil. Okay, now Pavel Blatny, who's never cheated at chess ever, never had any prearranged wins or losses. Never. Grandmaster Pavel Blatny. I actually like him. He's a nice guy. He's white against doofus. Okay, but he's a German doofus, and it's International Holocaust Day, so turnabout's fair play in this game. Right, sweetie?
What do you mean, Grandmaster with air quotes?
Well, he should be an IM.
He either has a title or he doesn't.
He does, but, ill-gotten. Okay, his rating's like 2,100. All right, I'm kidding. He's 24-something. Bruno Scene... say something about Karyakin, Eminem, Tombstone. All right, good chat. Okay, you paying attention? You're losing focus here.
I told you I was tired.
All right, so you have this position a lot.
I mean, I have had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, D5. Now you've had this position a lot. Okay. Now, Blotny played knight bd2, and he said, I dare you, I double dare you take my bishop. And then he asked the guy if they speak English and what. And the reason is if you take this way, which isn't recommended because it's the only way to take back, you dominate the e5 square. So black could take, but he decided not to. And he could still take, decided not to. And finally he played bishop g3, and we've like transposed into the other games we've looked at. Like in Komsky's game, b6, queen e2, bishop e7, rook d1. Komsky Govinov, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see if I can remember the game. I'm not saying I can remember the game. Let's just see if I can. He played rook e8, I think. Let's see, is that right? Yeah, and he played a3. Oh, no. He didn't play rook e8. He played here. No, wait a minute. I give up. Rook d1. White played here next move. Yeah, it was rook e8, e4, bishop here, pawn here, knight here, a3. I'm so old, I wasn't trying to remember it. I don't think he played c4, b5 yet, so they might have. c4, b5, knight f1, a5, knight e3. He played g6 much earlier than this. I'm transposing. Yeah, he played g6 way earlier than this. Sorry.
That's all right.
This. He traded somewhere. Bishop c8, bishop g5, rook b3, h4, queen b6, takes, here, knight e3, no, knight here. And then knight f6, knight e3, queen d8, knight takes d5. Oh, this happened a long time ago, and I missed it. That happened like 10 moves ago. Castles resigns. I transposed, I apologize. So I mixed it up, but this is the final position, right?
Yeah.
Right, and you could show it too.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the game we were looking at, the first game, about an hour and a half ago. Not quite, hour and 20 minutes ago. And instead of b6, the German guy played rook f, and I would say East German, right? Probably East German. You know, Wolfgang. You know. Not all of them was out of order, just most of them. Okay, so he wants to play e5 because I said so. That's why he played rook e8. So knight e5. Now, when you play in the tournament next weekend, one of your opponents is going to go here thinking you'll take that way and you'll take that way, and they'll be like, oh my God. And that will happen, and she'll be like, how did Ben know this was going to happen?
Nobody ever falls for that.
It's going to happen next weekend.
Board.
It's going to happen.
Unless they're lower rated. Online, they do.
It's going to happen. Yeah. 95% moves are out of order. Incorrect. Yeah, Sven's wrong. Everybody's wrong.
It rarely happens.
I only missed like 2 moves. Yeah, none of those moves were out of order. I couldn't have gotten the position. Yeah. Anyway, you're all banned because you don't even know what you're talking about.
That happened to you against Grandmaster Gus?
You wouldn't know, and I wasn't wrong. Everything I said was right. Yeah, you're all banned. Okay. Now, Queen c7. You see how this knight's attacked 800 million times? Okay. So f4. Now, normally, when you play the stone wall, which shows you're a weak player, right? Only weak players play the stone wall. So if you play it, you're a weak player. The bishop is on c1, and you're choking on your own rage. And you're trying to get the bishop here. Well, you guys aren't. You guys don't care. You just leave all your pieces here and try to mate the guy. But now this bishop is here, so it's doing something. And if it was an Indian bishop, what would it be doing?
Vishwanathan.
Right. I also would have accepted elephant.
Deepak teaches his students the stone wall.
Yeah. Okay. Right. And that's why he's not titled and he's like 2,400. Terrible. Okay. Knight d7. Now, knight d7 is a blunder, and you might say, why would black blunder? And I would say, you see that name? Have you heard of him? No. If you heard of him, he wouldn't play that move. Now, notice how black's pieces are over here. You agree. And black's king is over here. So what move did white play? It's the kind of move Karen plays all the time.
Oh, it's looking real Greek gifty.
Correct.
Greek gifty,
Right.
yeah.
And this is a very easy sacrifice because it's not a sacrifice. The rook's not defended. So if you just play the normal way and you take this, you're already, I mean, probably you can mate him instead of taking the rook, although the engine does take the rook. And then you could just take the rook. Also, you could check first and then take the rook with check. So that's not really a sacrifice. So knight d7 is an absurd blunder that your opponents could make because they're like, no, the knight's on e5. And they're like, I'm going to go here. I'm going to blunder with f6. And I'm going to kick the knight out. Okay, so the guy didn't take. He moved his king. And then he moved his bishop back because he doesn't want g6 to trap it. Then the guy played here because that's the safest. Now, I want to explain something. This guy's way better than anybody you're going to play next weekend.
Yeah.
But he's getting beat like, some Rihanna joke. Okay. Queen h5, threatening mate. You agree. Okay. So, f6. Now, also, this isn't mates. You shouldn't have agreed because king d8. So, obviously, rook f8 is the best move. And he played f6, which is not a good idea because...
Never play f6.
Never play f6. Okay, queen g6, this is an excellent move. You're threatening here, right? And if he plays rook g8, you check and take the rook with check. So it's indefensible. King here, queen check. So he took the knight, right? Like Jeffrey Osborne. Is it Jeffrey Osborne? I think it is. Oh, give me the knight.
It might be George Benson.
Two knight. I thought it was Jeffrey Osborne. I always get these wrong.
I thought it was Benson, but I'm not positive.
It's one of them. Come on, people. Who knows the answer? It's George Benson. No. Okay. So now, notice how this pawn isn't here, but it was there.
Yeah.
But it's not there. You agree? So bishop h4 check. God damn. Okay, so he blocked with the knight. If he plays king f8, I said if, then I take this way, and I'm going to put a rook here, and you're not going to like that. And then my bishop and queen, and you see what I'm saying? Okay, so he played knight f6. That's actually the best move. Takes, 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 check. And now black resigned because if you play king here, you lose your queen. Okay, and here's a tough question for you. First tough question I've asked.
Yeah.
After here, that's the other legal move. What's the best move for white?
The best move. Maybe knight c4 check.
That's actually a reasonable answer. It's not right, but yeah. But you have the right idea.
I was trying to open up the d.
Right. So the engine says this is the second best move because it threatens mate.
Okay.
Okay. That's tied for first. The best move is punishing this lining up of the king and queen.
Oh yeah.
Bishop g3.
Bishop g3.
Yeah. I'm not sure which move's better. Probably we need like an engine to run longer to find like a mate. But either move wins. See if knight c4 works. Yeah, knight c4 here, knight here, and then bishop g3 again. Yeah. It's just sort of delaying bishop g3, but good enough. Yeah. So black didn't do well this game because he was so busy kicking the knight out of e5 that he forgot about bishop h7 and he just got mated. And in these games, white's playing aggressively, putting a knight on e5, playing f4, playing queen out. Peter likes to play knight e5, queen f3, queen h3, Papa John's, and then g4, g5, and Charlotte Chess Center wins every game. That's what he does. Yeah, sometimes when you play white, it's sort of like boring and passive. You got to crush those guys. Forgot about Dre? Yeah. Etc. Yeah, but Shanghai check. If you castled, you could play King B1 even quicker. Thanks, under 1300 Karpov. Go Charlotte Chess Center.
Yay.
Correct. That's one of Karen's favorite players in Charlotte. Oh, snap. The number one is Dominique. Oh, snap.
I was trying to figure out which one of them, because Dominique could be my favorite.
It's true. You know who Dominique's favorite grandmaster is? I'm raising my hands in victory because I like this joke. I just made it up.
Let's see, Dominique's favorite grandmaster. I don't know.
Short. Man, there's no small chess players, just small something. All right, just small couches. Thanks, Peter Griffin.
I thought you were going to say something else, small.
We're, well, not Dominique.
Or even talking about balls. So.
That's right. That's a load-bearing wall. Very good. That's from some cartoon. Probably Family Guy. Yay! Go train. All right. What's worse, when the train doesn't do well, or when you listen to Train on the radio?
I can't even think what train sounds like.
Excellent. Go Seinfeld. That's a load-bearing poster. That's right. And so on. Man, these guys know their Simpsons. Good. Good. Train on the radio is pretty awful.
It's a cult.
Train is the worst band ever? Incorrect. What's the group everybody makes fun of for the last 15 years? They're always Nickelback.
Yeah.
Nickelback worse than Train. I have spoken.
What do you think about that band, Tool?
They're not bad.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, Tool's not bad. Nickelback is pretty bad, but not worst ever. I know they're not the worst ever. Yeah.
Tool, I recognize that they're talented, but I don't, I don't just say, hey, I think I'm going to go listen to some Tool.
The load-bearing poster is the one where Flanders goes crazy, and he's in the insane asylum after his house. They build him a new house, and it collapses. This is the best part of the episode. Flanders' house burns down, and he doesn't know why, because he's always going to church, and he keeps kosher just to be on the safe side, which he said. They rebuild his house, the town. But they're not good at building houses, random people. So, like, the toilet is next to the fridge, and he's like, why is the toilet here? And he says, those things are heavy. I can't carry it upstairs. And some of the rooms get smaller and smaller as you walk. It's funny. Anyway, at one point, Homer closes the door, and, like, Flanders is pretty mad because the house is ridiculous. And when he closes it, he's facing away from the house, and the house just collapses. And Homer turns around, and he's scratching his head like, how could that have happened? That's the funniest part. And so forth. 311 worst band ever? I don't know. That's a load-bearing poster. I play violin and chess, except for the violin part.
I mean, do you guys just turn on Tool? I mean, I enjoyed listening to them because they were different. But I don't
Now we're doing the French defense part of the lesson. Now, if White won this game, what would he say?
If he won the game,
What would he say? Do you see his opponent's name?
Nimzovich, son of a bitch.
No, he would say, gotcha, Nimzovich.
Oh.
Yeah. I surrender. No, he's not
saying.
French. Or is he French? Yeah, probably.
Gotcha.
Looks like his name's French.
Witches.
All right, we're not doing good on the hype trains today. You guys are the worst. You must be German. Terrible.
Yeah, I think I'm just not. I'm not a hard rock fan.
I played violin for years as a kid, and then I stopped. I could still play some songs on the violin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't forget.
Do you?
Yeah.
You don't have a violin anymore,
I do not. No, I think I never had a violin. I just played the one they gave me at school.
Oh.
Yeah. Yay, Shanghai Czech, 200 centuries. Meatpex, 1999. Yes, Germans are terrible. Truth hurts. Smooth Criminal wasn't out when I was playing the violin. Yeah.
I've never played any stringed instruments.
Hanson's not very good. That's true.
A piano is technically has some strings.
Technically. Okay, this is French defense, so we will flip. All right, so it's Nimzovich versus somebody you never heard of. So I wonder who's going to win.
And you have the board flipped while we're doing the French.
Well, it's the French, yeah. Okay.
But you're not going to show me losing French.
So now, White played your favorite move to face. ED. Yeah. And there was no antidote for ED because this was the 1920s. Anybody? No. Did I play any Wagner on my violin? Not on... This is International Holocaust Memorial Day. We don't talk about Wagner. There's a really good curb where he's playing Wagner, and the guy's like, you're Jewish, you can't play Wagner. That's very funny. My dad would have liked that episode. My dad might have seen that episode.
I saw that episode. Wasn't that the same episode where the girls were trick-or-treating?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
My dad liked Wagner, and he saw De Valkyrie when he was in New York visiting me once. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The basement repair plan is still underway. Starting Monday for about 4 days. It's going to be crazy down here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys think things happen in like 5 seconds because you never did anything.
I mean, we've done a lot of work already.
Terrible.
And they hadn't even started yet.
Good music transcends politics and genocide. That's right. For more information, see the movie Victory. Victory has your 2 favorite actors in it. Okay, I'm going to tell you the better actor, and I'll tell you the worst one.
Okay.
The better actor is Sylvester Stallone.
Clearly
better than the other one I'm going to tell you, who's not an actor.
He's not an actor.
No, Pele.
Oh.
Although Michael Caine's in it, and Max von Sydow.
Yeah, they're both good.
Those guys are good, but man.
Yeah, Max von Sydow is good.
Yeah, but Pele, man, he's not a good actor. Yeah. Michael Caine and Stallone. Can't beat that. Well, Max von Sydow's the best actor in the movie, obviously.
He's fantastic.
Obviously. Michael Caine is the British Gerard Depardieu, if I may. May I? But he's not as big and disgusting. But, same thing. And so on. Who's the American equivalent of Depardieu and Michael Caine?
Depardieu is not disgusting. What are you talking about?
What? Have you seen him? Yeah, yes. He's like sexually abusing women, and he's 800 pounds. Of course he is.
I didn't know about the sexually abusing
Well, you got to know that stuff.
Yeah. And I didn't ever see him 800 pounds.
900, I don't know. Sorry. Who's the American equivalent? Probably like Sam Jackson. He's like equal to them in acting, and he's in every movie like they are. But he doesn't act like they do, but he's in every movie. The bridge on the River Kwai turned soccer with the Nazis. That's right. Who was the star of Bridge on the River Kwai? I accept 2 answers. It'll be a world record if you get it.
Bridge on the River Kwai. Well, I didn't see it.
It'll be a world record.
What year did it come out? Give me a hint.
61.
Okay. Mitchum.
Alec Guinness. The Guinness Book of World Records. That's why I said it would be a record.
Oh.
Yeah. Worst actor, Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's the most incorrect thing you've ever said ever. I don't even know who you are, but you're wrong. If you want to see JCVD in a really good movie, the name of the movie is JCVD. That's the name of the movie. Semi-autobiographical movie about him. Semi. Right? Like, if you're getting teabagged, semi.
Depardieu's a national treasure?
Yeah. Yeah, look at them. Look at them backing me up with JCVD. Yeah.
So is that not true that he did stuff to women?
Yeah, I don't know, probably.
No, I'm disappointed.
I mean, he's an actor. What do you want him to do?
I don't think he did
Steven
that.
Seagal's much worse than JCVD.
I like Depardieu.
Let me look him up and see what he did.
Wasn't he the one? Maybe I have the. I know who he is, but was he in those Manon des Sources? Wasn't he in that? Who was in Manon des Sources? Those Manon movies.
He's one of the most prolific thespians in history, it says. He's been in over 250 films since 1967.
Yeah.
Almost always as a lead.
Yeah, those movies are so wonderful.
Yeah, that's not disgusting to you.
Jean de Florette.
Are you kidding me?
He's not looking good now, but
Yeah.
those movies are fantastic.
Now, if I tell you something, you're going to be shocked. That was 12 years ago. How do you think he looks now?
How old is he?
Yeah, exactly. He's 73, so he was 61 there. That's a rough 61.
Yeah, you know.
That is not good.
Looks like he has rosacea.
What? That's his girlfriend's name? He was best actor. He was best something. Personal life.
Yeah, I find it. I hope he didn't do stuff to ladies.
What?
I love his acting. I thought he was good looking when he was young. But yeah, he hasn't aged as well.
He had a motorcycle accident with a blood alcohol of 2.5 grams per liter. I don't know what that means.
Oh, wait, there are some. Look.
Hold on. He was hit by a car. He was driving drunk. He was intoxicated every time.
Oh, no.
He's had at least 7 motorcycle or scooter accidents, and he's still alive. Yeah, c'est pas bon. It says he was voted the best frog imitator ever. No. He confirmed a story. Man, I don't even want to read this.
Where?
Read the first paragraph, but not out loud. You like your favorite guy now? Yeah, don't read his Wikipedia if you like him. Jesus Christ. Look at this. He said, quote, look at that quote. There was nothing wrong with it. Then read what he wrote. Jesus. He's much worse than I thought he was. I didn't think much of him. You reading this part?
I'm past that. Let me just read.
But after you read that, how can you read any more?
Huh. That doesn't sound good. Yeah, I can't say I love
Then
him.
there's more.
I do like his acting, though.
There's more.
Well, I'll read it later.
Wow, then there was more and more.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
After reading the Wikipedia about Depardieu, I know what his favorite Nirvana song is.
How did I never even heard that.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Well, I lived in Belgium for 4 years, so all I saw was Depardieu.
No, but I mean, I love.
Yeah, he's reading it too. It's just sweet today more.
He's sorry, but it happened.
He's sorry, but it happened. Man, there's not good, then there's that. Yeah.
That's gross. I can't. I mean, I don't know, a 9-year-old.
Yeah. So now now you take back everything you said about him. Okay.
Do those.
Now remember, I say this on every stream when I remember to. Okay. Everybody is a terrible person. As long as you don't know much about him, then it's okay. Now let me give you an example. There's a reporter who's on that shows I watch, Mina Kimes. Okay. And she said this about football and that about football. And a guy who used to play football for the 49ers, he also played for the Lions, I think, for like 6 months. He played like 15, 20 years ago. He didn't like what she wrote about like this 49er quarterback. So on Twitter, he posted like the most insane thing you've ever seen. Like nonstop swearing, and you don't know anything about football. You never played football, and you're an idiot, and you should be ashamed because you never played football. And he went on and on and on and on and on.
I don't know.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia. Yeah, Jeff Garcia. But I didn't know Jeff Garcia was a turd. So I thought, okay, Jeff Garcia, pretty good quarterback. Man, the truth hurts. Yeah. Man, Jeff Garcia was all over. I mean, like, he'd go to jail for what he said. God damn.
I got lost in the story. Let's do some chess now.
No, but let's talk about Jeff Garcia.
Get back on point.
Okay.
Here.
Didn't he play for the Lions? Like briefly.
My brain is starting to shut down.
Okay, so exchange French, your favorite. Okay. We're mentioning French because Depardieu, right?
I was wondering how we got there.
Now, what a lot of people do that you don't do
Yes.
is a lot of people are saying they play knight e7 instead of knight here. The reasoning is this is white's good bishop, and they want to trade this bishop for it, or they could play bishop g4, and then they could castle queenside. Then it's not boring. So knight here, bishop somewhere, queen d7 castles, as in the game from the Chicago Open last year, Finegold Shabalov. Man, that was a really long game, over 6 hours. Okay. Castles, knight c6.
Yeah, McNulty, I might sometime, but I have a tournament next weekend, so I got to play the French.
Now, this isn't the move I would consider. That move doesn't make any sense because a blockaded bishop is of little value. So I don't like that square for the bishop. He wants to trade the white squared bishops because that bishop is good and this bishop is shallow and pedantic. So Nimzovich is playing all the right moves, just like the movie All the Right Moves, which I didn't see. Now he castled kingside because he's going to trade the white squared bishops. He literally didn't care about getting a weird position where both sides castle because he's already trading the white squared bishop, so he's already fine. Rook e1, they trade the white squared bishops. He attacked the queen. The guy saw it. Now, this isn't a great game because this was played in the 1920s, and they weren't so good then. But, it's good enough. Then he put his knight on e6, which was an excellent square. The knight can go everywhere. And his knights aren't superfluous like they were. Okay? I shouldn't draw things like that on International Holocaust Day. Okay. Huh? That's where all the Germans shop. Swastikas are us. That's where they get their toys. So with the knights here and here, they control every square. You can't find a square they don't control. Okay. So he put his knight on e6. Good, good. These knights are shallow and pedantic. The knights here. Look at this knight. Terrible. You've never been so angry. If only the knight was here. Then, If you don't like Shabalov, you can scramble his letters and get Balashov, another grandmaster. Okay. Queen d3, that's legal. Knight g6. The guy walked into a fork with his queen d3. See? Okay. So g3 stopping all that noise. Rook e8. Always retreat. Queen d7. Now, this is a nice position for black because this bishop's permanently bad and this one's good. And we have attacking chances over here because white weakened the white squares. Okay. And then after he saw me make all this design, he went out and bought dog food.
I know about the Purina.
Yeah. Also, if you like the Purina symbol, watch the old Star Wars movies from the 70s and you'll see it on their coat. True story. Let's see. Logical. Okay. Knight d1 is actually the engine move to do the same thing that the other guy did. Nimzovich. Okay, rook e7, knight e3, and knight e3 is a blunder and the game's over. Okay, so knight e3 always play knight f5, right? Knight e3 blocks the queen, blocks the rooks, and most importantly, blocks the bishop. And if you're a kid watching the stream, it's actually, you should try to block the bishops. Yeah, and tell your parent and run. Yeah, this bishop's scary. Now, black is winning. So what's the winning move for black? Knight e3 double question mark. Thanks for continuing the sub. Stop ears.
I was looking at knight f4.
But you didn't say which one.
Knight e.
Knight e because you want the queen to get out.
Right.
Okay. The other knight move also wins. Yeah, the game's over now. Yeah, you can ask Lenny Kravitz. It's not to take a rook. It's to checkmate your opponent. So this is a fork, right? So not here, but you get the idea. Takes. takes. The queen has to move. Yeah. Now, this is very funny. Queen here is mate, except there's a knight on e3. So it's not mate. The knight takes it. So he played queen h3. What is black threatening?
To sack the exchange. And then
Always sack the exchange. Well, white, he's actually threatening this right now.
Oh, yeah.
The problem with going here is you could take with the pawn.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Right.
yeah, so in this position, actually white resigned. But let's not resign. Okay, how do you stop this? That's right.
That's your way.
So the problem with moving your knight, let's play a random knight move. Attacking the queen. Okay, now black has mate in 3. Let's see if you can find it.
Mate in 3.
Man, these exchange Frenches are exciting. That's what she said.
Let's see, maybe 92.
Correct.
First.
Then you're unleashing the latent potential.
Yeah.
Right. And then king h1 mate. And if you take it, you're blocking the exit for your king. It doesn't matter which way you take it. Okay. So the engine says you should play here because that blocks the bishop and it saves the knight. You got all that? Okay. Right? So now we take it and the engine doesn't take back. But let's take back. Otherwise, black's up material and mating white. Now, many moves win here, and there's a really cool move that wins the quickest. It's very hard to find. The obvious moves are like rook here, and rook takes here. But you want to play knight h3 check. So where can the queen go that's very dangerous for white, and then you could play knight h3 check. What's another good square for this queen? Make sure you're up in his grill. It also stops an important defense for white that you guys wouldn't see because you're not allowed to see it. That's good chess teaching. How can the queen be in the grill when it's not on h3? Get the queen near the king over here. But not here because it's already there. You want to play knight here.
Yeah, I guess queen f3.
Queen f3.
Yeah.
Right. Now you can't play f3, and this would be a defense. So now, if it was black's move, knight h3 check, king f1, mate. And I showed this position to Powers Booth. Well, that wasn't Powers Booth. It was, what's the actor's name? Damn it.
I mean, I don't even, I've heard of Powers Booth, but I can't even think who that is.
Powers Booth is in the movie. Who's the actor that he kills? That Doc Holliday kills.
Oh, he's in that.
What's
movie?
the actor's name? Yeah, Powers Booth is in that. I forgot his name. He's the guy in Terminator. No. Michael Biehn, thank you. Right. Yeah, Michael Biehn, I showed this to Michael Biehn, and he said, I can stop mate. And I said, you're a daisy if you do. Okay, and the only way to stop mate is h3. That way the king can go here. But it doesn't last very long. Rook takes e5, and so on. You can't move the knight because queen here mate. The king is just perpetually stuck. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, these pieces dominate these pieces. It's like Go. So in this position, if white puts something here and here, he could take the queen off the board and say Atari, right?
Maybe. I didn't play.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Steven Seagal. Worst answers ever. ColecoVision. That's a good answer. Okay, so in this position, white resigned because too many checkmates. The engine says, now here's the best play. Here's the best play for white. Here, and then f3. stopping all the checkmates. Then, as Aviv likes to say, black starts collecting. Actually, no, it wasn't Aviv, it's Lako. Lako says collecting. We just start taking stuff. And black's up a lot of material. Here. We're terrible. Plus 9. 9! Plus 9. Yeah. And so on. All right, Karen's tired, and we're going to be off Chess TV in 5 minutes. I can show you one more game. I have many.
We're going to do one more.
Really?
That's all of them but 2, right? How many did we not do if we do one more? Just 2.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Tom Hanks, when he signs his name, he writes T for Tom Hanks. And if you put it together, thanks. Yeah, that's what he does. He knows what he's doing. Vic 20 is good. Okay, which actor was killed in a helicopter accident in the Twilight Zone movie, and his name is Vic? I won't tell you yesterday. I'll tell you
tomorrow.
Vic Morrow.
Oh, Morrow.
Did you ever heard of him?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah, he was killed in it. Yeah. Then some kid was also killed, but the studio owned that kid, so nobody knew. Yeah, it's a Family Guy joke.
Yeah, my kids are at their dad's. They come back tomorrow.
They do? Oh, yeah. All right. So this game is Joken versus Doofus. Now, you might think that doesn't say Doofus, but it does. Thanks, Beckert 1337. Jim Croce, hooray.
Good night, me pegs.
Yeah, Jim Croce died in a plane accident, I think. Unless it was helicopter. I think it was plane. Yeah.
Hey, Gerald Russell.
Did Jim Croce die in a helicopter? I thought it was a plane. I don't know.
I don't recall.
All good musicians die in plane accidents, if they can. Wait, no. Okay, last game. So we have Doofus with white and Alekine's black. Don't blink. Once again, the guy's like, oh no, it's Alekine, right? And so he traded, and then they agreed to a draw. Now we'll look at the next game. Yeah, this is the game Karyakin, Carlson, and Carlson's like, what? He played the exchange French? I thought he was going to play for a win. All right. Can you play chess on Shabbat? Translate to English? What?
And then they...
Don't know what the guy's talking about. I know exactly what he's talking about. Pretend I don't. Okay. Bishop d3. Going to schist. This is the way a lot of top players play with black, and this is actually very similar to my game with Shabba Dabba Ding Dong. Okay? Okay, so c3, defending the pawn. And Alekine, he's developing his queen side because he wants to castle queen side. Okay. I actually think this is my game with Shabalov from Chicago Open, but maybe it wasn't. Okay, queen a4. Rook e8. The engine wants to always play king b8. Now you can see this isn't boring. This is I mate you, you mate me. Yeah. Okay, except Alekine you've heard of, and the other guy you haven't, so, you know. Okay, so rook e8, b4. Oh no. Always play king b8, because that defends this pawn. So you're not worried about b5, because your pawn's defended. Right, now this knight can come here, and this knight here, and this bishop is sort of silly. All of white's pieces are sort of silly. Okay, so he played here because he didn't want his pieces silly. Rook takes is a mistake. He should take with the pawn. That way his bishop could go to e3 later. And also taking with the rook, once this knight moves, black's going to gain control of the e-file. That guy's not helping. So rook takes is a mistake.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So, he should take with the pawn.
Right. Then when his bishop goes here, it has an open diagonal.
Oh,
if it takes with a rook and they fight for the e-file, black wins.
I didn't know what you meant because the diagonal's open.
And watch, the black won the e-file. So why did white want that? Terrible. Oh, look at this. Boo! Boo! That's from Seinfeld.
What, boo?
Yeah, boo! Boo! She's booing me? You know, that she come and you brought her here and she boos me? Then he goes to her work and boos her. Then she runs out and she gets hit by her, something runs over her pinky toe. So it gets cut off. Then they take her to the hospital. Kramer finds the pinky toe, gets on the bus, and then the bus driver is attacked. And then he drives the bus, Kramer, and he fights off the guy, and he keeps making the stops because people kept ringing the bell.
I vaguely remember.
And then he kicked the guy off, and he returned the pinky toe to the end of the line.
All right, but we got to stay on track here.
Still making the stops.
Fading.
Yeah. Waiter doesn't roll on Shabbat. You mean like no drugs? Okay. So he traded rooks. So obviously that helped Black getting this open file. Now White doesn't have any attack here. That's ridiculous. White can never make any threats. This knight's coming here. Bishop, rook, queen. This knight can go here. And what are these doing? Boo! Boo! You're booing? Okay. Knight F1, that's the engine move. Rook E1. God damn. Bishop B2. Queen E8. Always retreat. And in this position, White made the worst move in chess history, and that's why you never heard of the guy. The engine says if White plays his cards right, he's equal. He should trade rooks and then play G3, killing this knight. And then it says it's equal. But he made a move that lost immediately. Terrible. What move would White make that loses immediately? You don't have to look at the board. You can close your eyes.
I mean, move the pawn.
What pawn?
On B5.
No, worse than hanging your queen. Worse. Never play.
Oh. F3?
Yeah. Worst move ever. Losing immediately. Okay, and he missed the next move. So this is a really good one for you. This is a good puzzle for you.
And maybe Queen E3.
Maybe Queen E3. God damn. He didn't see that because the knight's here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then after here, he takes the rook because it's still pinning the knight. And then he plays the very easy winning move. Very easy. Hard not to play it.
I mean, take the bishop.
Yep, and that's it. We're a piece up and we're threatening mate. Mm-hmm. But this bishop's pretty active. Whenever you see games like this, and you're like, who was that guy who played F3? Exactly.
Hey, hang on a second. Hey, Slow, I agree with you. I'm not into Princess Bride at all. I don't understand why everybody praises it so much.
You want a peanut?
What are you talking about?
Stop rhyming. I mean it. Does anybody want a peanut? That's from Princess Bride.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I barely could get through it.
But come on, Billy Crystal's really good. Okay, what actress plays Billy Crystal's wife? Not sure they're married, but I assume so. In Princess Bride. I think you can get it if you're able.
Well, able. I don't know.
Carol Kane.
Oh, okay.
Katharine Hepburn. Worst answer ever. Mm-hmm. Margot Martindale. Now you're just making up names.
The princess was your first crush. She was so lovely. I can understand.
Yay,
that.
200 centidues. Thanks,
is.
Grungewort.
Robin, what's Sean Penn? What was her name?
Robin Wright Penn? Never heard of her. Yeah, she's great, Robin Wright.
Good actress. She's
I'm
lovely.
not a witch. I'm his wife. Can't she be both? Played Laka's wife on Taxi. Correct. She was also in one episode of Seinfeld when the Russian guy who was writing the book for Elaine's publisher, he threw his thing out the window because it made noise and hit Carol Kane in the head. Then she went to complain, and then he dropped it out the window and it fell on her head again. And also in the interim, she was in the lobby and she was smoking. And he said, like, you can't be in here, you can't smoke, and you don't live here. And then she's like, doesn't want to leave. He says, you have to leave. And he says, oh, I'm sorry. I'm taking away all the glamour from the hookers that are here. Sorry about that. Then she walks outside. Yeah. So there's an episode on Taxi where Carol Kane has to get permission from Latka's mom to marry him. And Latka's mom is like 6'4". And Carol Kane is like 5'3". And she says, okay, you can marry Latka if you give me a kiss on the cheek. And she's jumping up and she can't do it. And she doesn't know what to do. So she kicks the mom. The mom goes, ow, and bends over. Then she kisses her. Go, Carol Kane. Yeah, Carol Kane's great. Yeah.
You're welcome, DQ'd. That drives me crazy, too, when I don't know what everybody's talking about.
You know, Seinfeld, Taxi.
Well, Kane. People haven't heard of Carol Kane.
They should have. She's great.
It sounds kind of like Carol Kane.
Right. Carol Kane has a similar, like, she's great and she's not as famous as she should be as, ready? Bebe Neuwirth. It's the same. They're both the greatest actresses ever, and nobody's heard of either one. And she's like, I've heard of Bebe Neuwirth. I know you have.
Yeah.
They're like, who are you talking about? But they're both like really, really, really good and don't get enough credit. I have spoken.
I think Bebe Neuwirth gets a lot of credit.
Not as much as she should.
Weren't they both in theater, too?
Yeah, but they haven't heard of Bebe Neuwirth. Suad Batesovich subscribed. They should have heard of her. Should have heard of Bebe Neuwirth. So most of you don't know who I'm talking about. She's Frasier's wife. She plays Lilith. Yeah, she's great. So one of my favorite Bebe Neuwirth lines from Cheers is they have a kid and Ted Danson keeps coming over to play with the kid. He just wants to come over and play with the kid. And they're like, all right. And then in one scene, it's like 7 a.m. and they wake up and Ted Danson's in their house playing with the kid. Like, how did you get in here? And then Bebe Neuwirth and Frasier are staying next to each other. And Bebe Neuwirth says, Sam, you can't just come into our house like this. What if we were having sex or something? And then Frasier looks at her and says, we can have sex in the morning? And she goes, no. the way she said it was right.
Yeah, because she had that really monotone voice.
Yeah, no. Mr. 8658 subscribed. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Karen made it 2 hours, so we don't have to call the doctor.
It's hard. I mean, it's tiring.
Yeah, you should go 12 hours with Kaidanov.
I got up super early, per usual, even though I was out late and up late.
Yeah, I've talked to people in Boston about it. They think the storm's going to end Saturday night, and they think by Sunday when he lands at 5:45, he should be fine. Not sure if that's true. We're going to check. People in Boston said Sunday afternoon, night will be fine.
Oh, you're in Boston, Jack?
I don't know if I agree with that, but we'll probably know more on Saturday. I mean, I could change his ticket on Saturday to Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have pretty strict COVID policies.
COVID?
At MIT. So.
Let me tell you how strict they are. The teacher comes and she has a ruler and she has the glasses on. She's like, you better have your COVID shot or else.
Well, they had to upload proof of a booster. And then they were supposed to have gotten tested and send the result 3 days prior to coming back. But Holden forgot to request the kit. So I don't know. Now he's just going to return home and shelter in place.
Hey, Siri, how much did the Lakers lose by?
I'm sure it'll work out.
The Lakers were defeated by the 76ers
Terrible.
today. The final score was 105-87.
Man, the Lakers are 24-25. Frankly.
Terrible.
I got my jersey today, so I'll be wearing it next time the Hawks play, and then I'll come on stream with my yeah.
It's a tank top.
Well, no, that's not called a tank top, but yeah, it looks like a tank top.
It's a tank top.
No, it's not a tank top. It's a shirt.
Kind of like the same thing with the purse.
You have to
Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, you have to feel the material, and you'll see
It's not a tank.
It's NBA.com. So I spent $1 billion on that jersey.
It's definitely a tank.
No. It's called a jersey. That's what they wear when they're playing.
I know.
Well, it's not a tank top.
Those are it's a specialized tank top.
No.
Yes.
No.
It is.
Terrible. Yeah, that's why you're banned.
Specialized tank top.
Did you guys ban? Oh, Ray Naroditsky. What? Man, Naroditsky, chest bra.
Did we ban who?
You saying it's a tank top.
Oh.
C.L. Smith obviously
Hey,
just snuck in there.
Zorex is agreeing.
Incorrect. It's not a new streaming location. Boo. That just means you haven't watched our stream in a while.
Just enjoy the wall because it's only going to be here for another few days.
Yeah, we're getting it demolished by Pink Floyd. All right, who am I rating?
Hey, I don't know about the car on the dome, McChef. I'll have to Google that. Let's see who's streaming.
What, in MIT, the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed us that when we did the tour.
I just don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a prank. Yeah, they do pranks.
So.
I've already clicked who I'm rating.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
That's okay?
Yeah, there were like 3 or 4 very good choices.
That's correct.
5. Like
I tried to rate Amaranth once, but Karen said no.
Just everybody. It's great. Lots of good streaming going on right now.
Even Komsky. Team Fight Tactics. He has a lot of viewers. Mm-hmm. Just kidding. Sasha Grey? Is she streaming? That other porn star is like in the hospital and like really sick. Who am I talking about? Jenna Jameson. She was on Family Guy.
Yeah, I did read she was in the hospital.
Here's what happened on Family Guy. Okay, Brian became a director because he wanted to be a director, but it was porn films. Mm-hmm. So they don't know he's doing porn films. So they go visit him on the set, the Griffins, and they're like, wow, he's a director. I'll bet you Sam Jackson's in the movie. He's in every movie, which we discussed earlier on the stream. And he was in the porn movie. He still was. Then he won a Woody, which is the award for porn directors. You get a Woody. Okay, like Grammy, but Woody. Then on the way home, Peter had tied up Gemma Jameson on the plane and took her home with him. And who played Gemma Jameson, or whatever her name is? Which actress played her in this thing?
I don't know.
She did.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, that's right. So there you go. I hope you guys learned a lot about Family Guy.
Didn't she retire from porn acting?
I hope so.
I think she might have some children now.
Yeah. Anyway, she's the one who's sick.
Yeah, but I think she has.
Yeah, but she's in rough shape.
Sure.
Man, harsh.
What's wrong with her? I forgot. I read that.
She said something was wrong with her. It turned out it wasn't that. So I don't know what's wrong with her. Bad diagnosis.
Oh.
Anyway, to tell you how bad she looks a little like Gerard Depardieu, if you know what I mean. No?
Tough life.
Yeah, I shouldn't talk about Depardieu on International Holocaust Day because, he played Cyrano. All right. See you guys next time. Well, crazy joke. Bye. Hopefully you didn't get